Welcome back to Multimedia Mouth, the YouTube channel that discusses entertainment, politics, professional wrestling, and business, media, and so much more, as well as some food reviews. My name is Ruben J. Welcome back. Real quick, before I jump into this week, or this episode, this video, I do want to say that BJ Bethel and myself have released a new episode of the podcast, Rent Free, discussing the Raja Jackson assault, as well as AEW's juxtaposition with the O2 Arena being a record-breaking crowd, and then them going to the ECW Arena or the 2300 Arena, as well as Vince McMahon's driving record and quite a few other things. Make sure to head over to the YouTube channel to watch that. We'll have a audio channel set up soon for that. I like kind of how things are going right now with just a video-only podcast. I do enjoy it. So we will see how that goes. But we are here to talk more about Vince McMahon. This guy, you know, I always thought that it would be an honor to one day meet Vince McMahon and be able to shake his hand and thank him for the hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of content that he produced as a WWE fan and a fan of professional wrestling as a whole, including AEW and TNA and WWE. Vince McMahon made the business what it is today, one way or another. But the more I learn about him, the less and less I actually want that to happen. And actually, when the Janelle Grant stuff, or not the Janelle Grant stuff in particular, but in, you know, the first round of accusations that came out about McMahon, and basically giving him, you know, there was some hush money payments and all this stuff first came out. You know, I thought, hey, you know what, it's time for him to go regardless. You know, he's at the age where he should retire. He's definitely at the age where he shouldn't be running the day-to-day business. He definitely shouldn't be in the creative aspect anymore. And at the time, you know, I thought, hey, you know what, if they are consensual relationships, he doesn't deserve to be, you know, ousted out from his company, but he should retire. And then he came back. And then months later, the details about what some of those hush money payments actually became. The allegations against Vince McMahon when it comes to the Janelle Grant stuff is disgusting. It is terrible. It is honestly, the fact that there are not criminal charges against him in this case because of his proximity to President Trump, very much likely. It just blows my mind. A woman here has credible allegations against sex trafficking against Vince McMahon. There are text messages proving her point. Who knows what else there might be on this particular person, you know, from Janelle Grant, proving that McMahon is a bit of a creep and a bit of a terrible person when it comes to his sexual desires and fantasies. And we always knew that he had a high sex drive, but what he did with Janelle Grant is absolutely insane and disgusting. Now we have some news from WWE, well, from outside WWE, about some of Vince McMahon's other improprieties, and it is potentially just as disgusting. The reason why I say potentially just as disgusting is because we don't know the full detail as to what happened, but Ringside News is reporting, this is according to Steve Carrier on Ringside News, that Vince McMahon allegedly engaged in sexual acts with Ashley Massaro in front of WWE talent. Now, this is apparently a story that's been going around for some time, but former WWE writer Dan St. Germain made the claim during an appearance on the B and Ian podcast, saying that McMahon engaged in public sexual acts with Massaro during a European tour. According to St. Germain, McMahon initiated sexual behavior with Massaro on the plane. Then once they landed, he allegedly ordered the entire WWE crew onto the tarmac, where they watched the plane rock back and forth while the act continued inside. Now, the breakdown of this is pretty graphic. I'm not going to go into the detail of what Saint Germain is basically saying here, I'll give you a general idea that there was some sexual touching on the plane that turned into apparently full-on intercourse once landed. And the reason why I'm giving Vince a little bit of the benefit of the doubt is for one reason. Number one, so far it's only one story. There's no corroborating evidence. There's no corroborating stories at this moment. If WWE talent or former WWE talent want to step up and say, yeah, this is true, obviously it makes it much, much worse. Also, Ashley Massaro is no longer with us to confirm or deny the allegations. And on top of that, we don't know what exactly led to the encounter. Was, I want to clarify, I'm not victim blaming here, potentially victim blaming here. I'm just saying that there could be a thing where, Ashley may have been into it. We don't know. But the reason why I negate all that to a certain degree is because what we learned about Ashley Massaro's time with the company later on, it was, I think, a couple years later that she would be sexually assaulted on a Marine base, and the WWE, Stephanie McMahon included, would basically not do their job, not investigate, and years later, almost a decade later, Ashley Massaro would unalive herself. And it's a very unfortunate situation. It's a very disturbing situation. It's a situation that should be litigated in court. It's a situation that if McMahon did not have full consent from Ashley, or Ashley felt she was supposed to do the act or face consequences, then this makes Vince McMahon an even more disgusting person than before, because he would then turn around and help cover up a sexual assault on top of it. This story is disgusting. It is disgusting. If all things, the only potential way that I would say that this is not disgusting is if there is concrete evidence that Ashley and Vince were in some sort of romantic relationship or sexual relationship, and it was open. It was an open, not an open secret, but like just open knowledge. Because what you have here instead is potentially a woman who felt like she had to have sexual relations with McMahon, and then a few years later, McMahon, potentially just to cover up his own sins, cover up the sins of others on a Marine base in order to keep this news from coming out. And it's disgusting, and it ultimately led to the suicide, the unaliving of Ashley Massaro. Ashley, had a brief run with the company. She was not with the company for very long, and for all of this to happen in a couple of years' time, it's sad. It's very sad, and I hope that somebody will either confirm or deny this story. And I hope that whoever is in charge of Massaro's estate is able to get some sort of repercussions if the story is true the way that it's being presented, which makes it sound much like the Janelle Grant situation if it was not consensual. And that's the hard part, is that we'll never know the full truth about if this was consensual or not. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Make sure to subscribe to this channel. If for nothing else, for the wrestling content, the wrestling business content, and all of that fun stuff. My name is Ruben J. I'll see you guys on the next video.